But will that be enough? Well, let's take a closer look at Walmart's online strategy and overall retail strategy going forward. Let's welcome Dean Crutchfield, CEO of the Dean Crutchfield Company in New York. Welcome, Dean.
Hey, Rachelle. Welcome to be here. Thank you.
So what's your take on Walmart's earnings missing expectations and how the company is faring overall?
I think they took a bit of a harsh battering today, but I think it's a market that's a little bit jittery. Even Home Depot got a hit too. But if you really look at it, 14 quarters of consecutive growth is pretty impressive. They've launched new lines. They've introduced new interesting partnerships like Lord & Taylor online. And of course, a lot of people lauded them for a successful integration of Jet.com, which up until the last quarter had grown 50%, as you've been saying. And suddenly it takes a big hit in a key holiday time and it's 23%. So people got a little bit unnerved by that. But I think that Walmart clearly does have a strategy in place. I think it's a strong strategy, and there's two parts to it. First of all, you're looking at your same-store sales and how you can improve those same-store sales through competitive and leadership pricing, because you're not opening new stores. You're also going to focus on e-commerce, which we hear is only 4% of their revenue so far. So you want to focus on that. You want to focus on technology. You want to focus on innovation. But where the real growth for me is for Walmart is Walmart International.
So really people should take more of a big picture view. Now, let's also look at what happened shortly after the U.S. tax overhaul. We saw that Walmart gave some bonuses,
yes,
but then they also made some layoffs at some of its Sam's Club stores. What should we be reading into that?
Well, I think it was awful timing, by the way. I mean, basically Walmart increased the permanent wages for over 1 million employees, and it gave out $1,000 bonuses to everybody. Very substantial, very successful, and yet the CEO of Sam's Club decides to send out a release and closes down 63 stores, and 11,000 people lose their jobs on the same day of such wonderful news that they should have been bathing in the bright lights and trumpets. Instead, they had headlights like they'd done something wrong.
Indeed, certainly an awkward situation there. Now, we know that Walmart did admit that it's going to boost its investment in e-commerce strategy, but more than 90% of its shoppers still use its brick-and-mortar stores. So what still needs to be done for it to compete with the likes of Amazon?
Well, I think they're onto it right now. If you look at their 2-day strategy, if you spend more than $35, it's a free delivery for 2 days. That's a direct hit against Amazon, and a very good one. I think the overall offering of Walmart from a price competition standpoint is actually better than Amazon's. It's just they need to get their act together and get their act together fast. So the acquisition of Jet.com was very strategic, very smart, and they've handled it really well. They've even brought the leadership team of Jet onto the leadership team of Walmart. So they're very serious about what they're doing. But again, it's such a small part of their business right now that it's a lot of frustration for a lot of people looking at it, saying, where is the action? Where's the speed? Where's the ramp up? And obviously that's what they're being held, it's being held against them right now.
And speaking of partnerships, let's also look at Walmart's strategy in China. They've had stores there since the mid to early 1990s, but we've also seen this e-commerce and retail partnership with JD.com. So what's your take on the company's long-term strategy in China?
Well, it's an interesting situation. You've got Walmart operates in about 28 countries around the world, but not as Walmart. In fact, it has about 59 different brands. So in China, of course, it's a Walmart play. It's been there 20 years. What Walmart shows about China and what it needs to be doing about the other markets like Japan and South Africa that have been hugely successful is how do you bring the power of Walmart to those businesses? The operational efficiency, the technology efficiency, that's what they really need to be doing in those international markets. And basically, there's 3 ways you can do a sustainable growth. You can look at global strategy, which Walmart can't do because it's not Walmart everywhere, not like a GE or a P&G strategy. You can't do a multi-domestic strategy like McDonald's does, where it's local marketing, local management. What you've really got for Walmart, and they've proved it with China, is called a transnational strategy, where you're looking at global supplier partnerships and partnerships with local resources as well. And they do that tremendously well. They just need to do a lot more of it and do it online.
Now, we've seen that Walmart is foraying into a number of things, whether it's health. Some people are wondering, are they spreading themselves too thin, too fast? What do you see as some potential challenges for Walmart going forward?
Well, I think it's about brand perception, isn't it? I mean, Walmart's always been about low prices, everyday low prices. So, offering products that might have a more higher price point or more brand feel to them might be difficult for Walmart to bring into its basket of offerings because of the position that it has about cheap, low price goods. So how can it offer more upmarket goods, something that Target has been a lot better at? But nonetheless, that is a challenge for the Walmart brand, is how it's perceived in terms of the products I want to buy from it.
All right. Well, thank you as always. Dean Crutchfield there of the Dean Crutchfield Company.
Thanks, Rachelle.